In the heart of a wide green jungle, where the sunlight danced through the leaves and rivers sang gentle songs, there lived a young elephant named Ellie. Ellie was not like other elephants. While her friends loved splashing in the river and munching on mangoes all day, Ellie loved to dream. She could spend hours lying under the tall acacia tree, staring at the clouds and imagining faraway lands filled with magic and mystery. "Ellie, come play," her best friend Tiko the parrot would squawk, fluttering above her head. "Not now, Tiko," Ellie would smile. "Can't you see that cloud? It looks just like a flying castle." Tiko would roll his bright green eyes. "A castle in the sky? Oh, Ellie, you and your imagination." But Ellie didn't mind. Her imagination made her feel alive, as if the world was bigger, brighter, and full of secrets waiting to be found. Every evening, when the sun sank behind the hills, Ellie would listen to the sounds of the jungle, the croaking frogs, the rustling leaves, the distant hoot of an owl. To others, it was just noise. But to Ellie, it was the whisper of adventure. One night, while the moon hung low and silver, Ellie heard something strange. It was a soft humming sound, like the voice of the wind, calling her name. "Ellie! Ellie!" Her big ears twitched. "Who's there?" she asked, looking around. The jungle was still. Even the fireflies seemed to pause. Then she saw it, a glowing butterfly, shining like a tiny star. "Follow me," said the butterfly, its wings sparkling in the moonlight. Ellie gasped. "A talking butterfly?" "Yes," the butterfly giggled. "My name is Luma, and I come from the forest of whispers. We need your help, Ellie the dreamer." "My help?" Ellie blinked. "But I'm just a small elephant. I've never even left the jungle." "That's exactly why we chose you," said Luma kindly. "You have the heart of a dreamer, and only those who believe can find the way." Ellie hesitated. The jungle was her home, it was safe and familiar. But deep inside, she felt a spark, the same spark that came every time she dreamed of adventure. "What do I need to do?" she asked finally. Luma smiled. "Tomorrow, when the sun rises, follow the river until you reach the rainbow rocks. There, the path will reveal itself. Be brave, Ellie." Before Ellie could ask more, Luma vanished into the dark. That night, Ellie couldn't sleep. Her mind swirled with thoughts, a talking butterfly, a mysterious forest, and a promise of something magical. Could she really do it? The next morning, as golden light filled the jungle, Ellie stood by the riverbank. Her heart thumped like a drum. Tiko flew down, puzzled. "Ellie, where are you going with that giant leaf bag?" Ellie smiled nervously. "I'm going on an adventure." "Adventure?" Tiko squawked. "Alone? That's dangerous. What if you get lost?" "I might," Ellie admitted. "But something inside me says I have to go. I think someone needs my help." Tiko fluttered beside her shoulder. "Then I'm coming too. Someone has to make sure you don't fall into a river or get stuck in a bush." Ellie laughed. "Thank you, Tiko." And so, with courage in her heart and her best friend by her side, Ellie began her journey. The river sparkled under the morning sun, and strange birds called from the treetops as if cheering her on. As they walked, Ellie noticed something unusual. The trees around them began to shimmer faintly, and the air grew cool and sweet. It was as if the jungle itself was transforming. "Look, Tiko," Ellie whispered. "Do you see that? Ahead of them, between two giant trees, a soft golden mist swirled, forming a shining doorway. On the other side, Ellie could see glimpses of glowing flowers and silver leaves that moved as if breathing. "That must be the Forest of Whispers," said Tycho in awe. Ellie took a deep breath. Her legs trembled, but she stepped forward. "Here goes nothing," she whispered. As soon as she crossed the doorway, the air shimmered around her. The jungle sounds faded, replaced by soft voices, whispers of dreams, songs of courage, and the flutter of wings. Ellie had entered a world where imagination was real. The moment Ellie stepped into the Forest of Whispers, she felt a cool breeze wrap around her like a silk blanket. The ground beneath her feet shimmered faintly, glowing with soft blue light. Everywhere she looked, there were colors she had never seen before, leaves that sparkled like emeralds, streams that glowed golden in the sunlight, and flowers that sang gentle tunes whenever the wind passed through them. Tycho whistled, his feathers puffed out. "Well, I'll be a featherless parrot. This place is, wow." Ellie smiled wide. "It's beautiful, isn't it? Just like in my dreams." They walked slowly, amazed by everything. A group of tiny rabbits with wings hopped past, giggling as they left trails of glittering dust in the air. Butterflies danced between glowing mushrooms, and in the distance, a waterfall shimmered with silver light. "This must be the heart of the forest," Ellie whispered. Suddenly, a soft hum rose from the trees, not just any hum, but a melody. The trees themselves were singing. Their branches swayed in rhythm, and the leaves shimmered like chimes in the sunlight. "What's that sound?" Tycho asked, eyes wide. "It's the song of the silver trees," said a gentle voice. Ellie turned to see Luma, the glowing butterfly from the night before, fluttering toward her. "You made it," Luma said with a smile. "The forest has been waiting for you." Ellie blushed slightly. "I didn't think I'd really find it." "You believed," said Luma simply. "That's all it takes." The butterfly circled her head. "But the Forest of Whispers is in danger. The song of the silver trees is fading, and if the song stops, the forest will fall asleep forever." Tycho gasped. "Fall asleep? Forever?" Luma nodded. "A dark fog has spread from the northern hills. It steals courage and dulls imagination. Only one with a pure heart and brave dreams can awaken the song again." Ellie's heart pounded. "You think I can do that?" "I know you can," said Luma. "But first, you must find the silver harp hidden deep within the singing caves. Without it, the song cannot continue." Before Ellie could reply, a chilling wind swept through the trees. The bright forest dimmed, and a thick gray mist began to curl around the roots. The rabbits hid under the bushes, and even the flowers stopped singing. "What's happening?" Tycho cried. "The fog," Luma said urgently. "It's here." The mist crept closer, whispering strange words that made Ellie's knees shake. "You can't do it. You're too small. You'll fail." Ellie tried to back away, but her feet felt heavy, like they were made of stone. Fear began to rise inside her chest. Then she remembered Luma's words, "Only one with a brave heart can awaken the song." "No," Ellie said, shaking her head. "I can do this." She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She imagined the golden river, the singing flowers, and her friends back in the jungle who always believed in her laughter. She pictured light, bright, warm, and full of hope. When she opened her eyes, the mist was still there, but it no longer scared her. She lifted her trunk and trumpeted loudly, a sound so strong it echoed through the entire forest. The mist trembled and began to pull back. The trees shimmered again, and the silver leaves glowed brighter than before. Tiko's eyes widened. "Ellie, you did it!" Luma fluttered closer, her wings gleaming. "That was your first test, Ellie. The fog feeds on fear, but courage turns it to dust." Ellie smiled shyly. "I didn't think I was brave. I was so scared." "Being brave doesn't mean you're never scared," said Luma softly. "It means you move forward despite it." As the forest brightened again, the silver trees resumed their song, soft, sweet, and full of life. But this time, Ellie could hear something more. Beneath the melody, there was a faint, distant hum, like an echo from the mountains. Luma tilted her head. "The song is still weak. The silver harp must be found soon." Ellie nodded firmly. "Then that's where we'll go." Tiko gulped. "Singing caves, huh? I bet they're full of bats." Ellie laughed. "Maybe. But maybe they're full of magic, too." The butterfly smiled. "Follow the path of light. It will guide you there. And remember, imagination is your strongest shield." With that, Luma fluttered upward and vanished in a beam of silver light. Ellie and Tiko looked at each other. Ahead, the trees bent gently, forming a glowing trail through the forest. The air was alive again with music and hope. "Ready?" Ellie asked. "Not really," Tiko said. "But let's go anyway." And with that, the brave little elephant and her feathered friend began their journey toward the Singing Caves, where the second great test awaited. The glowing trail led Ellie and Tiko through winding paths covered in silver moss. As they walked deeper into the forest, the air grew cooler and the music of the silver trees faded behind them. Ahead, they saw a dark mountain with glittering crystals embedded in its sides, the Singing Caves. Even from afar, Ellie could hear faint echoes, like soft voices calling her name. "Ellie! Ellie!" Tiko shivered and landed on her back. "I don't like this, Ellie. Caves that sing your name? That's creepy." Ellie smiled nervously. "Maybe they're just trying to say hello." As they stepped closer, the entrance of the cave glowed with pale blue light. Strange symbols were carved into the stone, stars, moons, and swirling patterns that seemed to move when Ellie looked at them too long. Luma's words echoed in her memory, "Imagination is your strongest shield." Taking a deep breath, Ellie lifted her trunk and stepped inside. The moment she did, the cave began to hum, a low, deep sound that vibrated through the ground. Crystals lit up one by one, creating a pathway of soft light. Shadows danced along the walls, forming shapes that moved like living dreams. Tiko whispered, "If we get out of here alive, I'm never teasing you about your imagination again." Ellie chuckled, but her laughter quickly faded as they reached a wide chamber. In the center stood a stone pedestal, and on it lay a harp made of silver light. "The silver harp!" Ellie gasped. She started toward it, but before she could take another step, a voice filled the air, deep, echoing, and calm. "Who dares to touch the harp of dreams?" The ground trembled. From the shadows rose a massive figure made entirely of smoke and stars. It had glowing eyes and a shape that changed every second, one moment a lion, the next a serpent, then a cloud. Tiko screeched. "That's not in any bedtime story I've ever heard." Ellie froze, her heart racing. "I'm Ellie," she said carefully. "I came to help the forest." The silver trees are losing their song. The smoky figure leaned closer. To awaken the harp, you must face the truth of your heart. Are you ready, dreamer? Ellie hesitated. I think so. Then show me your courage, said the figure. It raised its smoky hands, and suddenly the cave around Ellie transformed. The glowing crystals went dark. The air turned cold. When Ellie looked around, she was no longer in the cave, she was standing in the middle of a wide, endless desert. The sky was gray, and there was no sound, no music, no color. Tiko, she called, but her friend was gone. She felt completely alone. From the distance, she saw shapes moving, shadows of elephants much bigger and stronger than her. They laughed, their voices echoing. You're too small, Ellie. You dream too much. You'll never be brave. Ellie lowered her head. For a moment, she believed them. Maybe they were right. Maybe she wasn't brave at all. Then she remembered the forest, the singing trees, the glowing butterfly, and the way her heart had felt when she stood up to the fog. No, she whispered. I am brave. I just don't look like it. She closed her eyes and imagined color flooding the world, blue skies, golden sands, green forests. She imagined Tiko flying beside her, chattering about mangoes. She imagined laughter, music, and courage flowing through her like sunlight. When she opened her eyes, the desert was gone. She was back in the cave. The smoky figure was watching her silently. Then, slowly, it bowed its shimmering head. You have faced your fear, dreamer. You remembered who you are. The figure dissolved into a trail of starlight that drifted toward the harp. The harp began to glow brighter and brighter until the entire cave was filled with music, soft, pure, and full of life. Tiko reappeared beside her, blinking. Whoa! Did I miss something? What happened? Ellie laughed, tears of relief in her eyes. I think I passed the test. The harp floated gently into the air and hovered before her. Its silver strings shimmered with light. A soft voice whispered from it, Thank you, Ellie the dreamer. Carry my song to the heart of the forest. As she reached out to touch it, the harp turned into a tiny silver charm and rested gently in her trunk. Tiko grinned. You did it, Ellie. You found the silver harp. Ellie smiled back. We did it, Tiko. The cave began to glow again, brighter than before. The walls sang a joyful melody that echoed through every tunnel, as if the forest itself was waking up. Luma's voice echoed faintly from above, Hurry, Ellie. The forest still needs you. The final test awaits. Ellie looked toward the mouth of the cave. Beyond it, she could see a storm gathering, dark clouds swirling above the trees. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. Come on, Tiko. Let's finish what we started. And together, they walked into the light, toward the final chapter of their adventure. The forest was no longer singing. As Ellie and Tiko stepped out of the glowing cave, they were met by silence. The once bright trees had turned gray, their silver leaves now dull and lifeless. The air felt heavy, and the golden rivers had turned dark as shadow. Oh no, Tiko whispered. We're too late. Ellie held the tiny silver harp charm close to her chest. No. We can still save it. She looked toward the horizon. Thick black clouds swirled above the heart tree, the oldest and tallest tree in the forest of whispers. Bolts of purple lightning cracked through the sky, and waves of fog rolled across the ground like ghosts. Luma appeared suddenly, her light dim and flickering. "Ellie, the darkness has reached the heart tree. If it falls asleep, the whole forest will fade." Ellie took a deep breath. "Then that's where we're going." "But Ellie," Tiko said, trembling. "That storm looks alive." "It's fear," Luma said softly. "The dark fog has a name now. It is called the gloom, born from the lost dreams of those who stopped believing." Ellie's eyes shone. "Then it's time someone reminded it what believing looks like." With determination in her step, she marched toward the heart tree. Tiko flew beside her, muttering, "I must be the bravest parrot in the world right now." As they neared the great tree, the ground shook. The fog gathered into a tall, shadowy shape, eyes glowing like cold embers. Its voice rumbled through the air. "Dreamer," it growled. "You should have stayed in your jungle. Dreams are fragile things. They fade, they break, just like you." Ellie's trunk trembled, but she stood tall. Dreams never die. They grow, even in the dark. The gloom roared, sending a wave of shadow toward her. The air became icy, and fear crept into Ellie's heart again. Her legs wobbled, and for a moment, she wanted to run. But then she heard faint voices, the silver trees, whispering through the wind. "Believe, remember the light." Ellie closed her eyes and remembered everything, the glowing forest, the singing flowers, the laughter of her friends. She remembered the way she felt when she first saw the stars reflected in the river. That spark of wonder. That endless imagination. She lifted the charm, and the silver harp shimmered back into its full, glowing form. The gloom snarled. "That little toy cannot stop me." Ellie smiled gently. "It's not the harp that will stop you. It's what it plays." She placed the harp on the ground and touched it with her trunk. The strings glowed brighter than lightning, and a note filled the air, soft at first, then growing stronger. It was the song of courage, woven from her dreams and hope. The melody spread like sunlight, pushing back the darkness. Every note painted color back into the world, blue skies, golden rivers, green leaves. The gloom screamed as light pierced through it, breaking it apart like smoke in the wind. "No! You can't imagine me awake." "Yes," Ellie whispered, "I can." With one final chord, the silver harp released a burst of silver light. The shadow dissolved completely, leaving behind tiny sparks that rose into the sky like stars. When the light faded, the heart tree began to glow once more. Its silver leaves shimmered, and the forest filled with music again, laughter, wind, and birdsong blending into a symphony of life. Luma fluttered around Ellie joyfully. "You did it! The forest is safe." Ellie smiled, tears shining in her eyes. "No, we did it. All of us, the dreamers, the believers." Tiko landed on her head and puffed up proudly. "And the bravest parrot in the world helped too." They laughed together, surrounded by the beauty of the restored forest. Luma hovered close. "The forest will always remember you, Ellie the brave dreamer. You reminded us that imagination is not just for dreaming, it's for living." Ellie looked around at the glowing trees. "I think I finally understand," she said softly. "Being brave isn't about never being scared, it's about believing in light even when the world feels dark." The forest shimmered, echoing her words with a soft melody. That night, under a sky full of stars, Ellie and Tiko rested beside the heart tree. The silver harp played quietly by itself, its strings moved by the breeze. "Do you think there are more places like this out there?" Tiko asked sleepily. Ellie smiled. "I think there are endless places, as long as we keep imagining them." As she closed her eyes, the stars above seemed to twinkle a little brighter, whispering her name through the wind. Ellie the dreamer. Ellie the brave. And from that day on, wherever Ellie went, in her jungle, her dreams, or the farthest corners of imagination, she carried the light of courage within her heart. Because even the smallest elephant, with a brave heart and a wild imagination, can fill the world with magic.